After being defeated by the hero, the demon lord is reborn on Earth and decides to conquer the planet. A sorcerer called Corpse God is on the loose, attacking and killing people, threatening to turn them into zombies. However, the church cannot allow this. They summon their best fighter, the Night Chakra, specialist in dealing with calamities. After many gods were brutally murdered by the Corpse God, who takes pleasure in causing deaths for no reason, they ask a sorcerer and Shagro for help. When arrived, Shagro does not hesitate to face Corpse God, with your eye able to see the souls of the dead. He is horrified at the sight of the villain and the many souls he possesses. Shagro warns him to stop acting like a reaper, since he is just a necromancer with the same eye that can see souls, the malevolent eye. Corpse God reminds Shagro that he too is just like him, possessing an evil eye, and killing people simply because he can. Both play the Reaper's game, even when Shagro acts fairly. Corpse God's motivations are different from Shagro's. He dreams of a peaceful world, where kids can laugh without fear of being killed by criminals or church guards just for being different. He pledges to fulfill his dream, eliminating anyone who threatens that vision, even if it means being the Corpse God himself. He doesn't mind killing, as he doesn't value the lives of other beings. They are mere toys to him, which he can play with at any time. The only exception is children, especially necromancers, for which he has some concern. Shagro disregards their justifications because he works for the church, not understanding why Corpse God would try to protect the lives of necromancer children. With these fair words, he confronts Corpse God using his own magic, while the latter retaliates, whose pattern Shagro does not understand. A fierce fight ensues as Corpse God unleashes his magic against Shagro, and the latter tries to deliver the final blow. Both give themselves completely to the battle, holding nothing back. The sorcerer promptly helps Shagro defeat Corpse God once and for all. Everything goes dark for Corpse God, as if he died, but he finally opens his eyes to a completely different world. An unknown world that shocks him, as he was fighting Shagro and doesn't remember what happened next. Now, he's down an alley with a hipster style. He looks at his hands and realizes they are small. One of the most impressive technological advances is the drone that is transmitting images in real time to a man sitting in front of several monitors, driving him crazy when he saw them. He begins to question his sanity upon witnessing a boy with his throat slit and bloodstained on his t-shirt, as if it were something normal. The Corpse God wanders among the streets and buildings, observing the crowd of apparently healthy and happy people and children. Enchanting as this is, he can't help but wonder about his former world and whether there's any possibility of returning to it. The police spot him and immediately approach to provide help. However, they speak a different language than the one he understands, Japanese. However, with each spoken word, he acquires more information from the brain of the body he now inhabits, a Japanese native named Polka Shinoyama. Worried about the wound in his throat, even though it is no longer bleeding, the police decide to call an ambulance for him. Now, he begins to understand that he must have been reborn as a child in a different world, and that is the only reason he is still alive. Before he can answer the officer's questions, a girl who looks strangely familiar appears out of nowhere, stepping on the head of one of the policemen and taking him with him, moving away from the others. As he does this, she expresses her joy to see him well and criticizes the policeman, mentioning how much of a nuisance they can be even though they were trying to help. After escaping into an empty alley where no one is around, the girl introduces herself as Misaki. He considers the possibility that Polka is friends with the girl, or at least has some personal connection with her. Misaki grabs him by the legs and turns him upside down, looking for evidence of his existence and feeling his temperature to confirm that he is indeed alive. He expresses gratitude for saving him, but Misaki wants him not to be grateful as she might have to kill him again, since she was the one who killed him or Polka the first time. She brings out the gun she used to slit her throat earlier, and his friendly, happy face morphs into an expression of madness and psychopathy, preparing to pounce. The corpse god in Polka's body, now referred to as Polka, runs away from her. Meanwhile, Takumi watches everything unfold and wonders why Polka, a 16-year-old girl, became the target. He also wonders why they hired a complete psychopath to do the job. But at the end of the day, all he cares about is the money, and he just hopes Polka dies once and for all so he can collect his pay. Polka runs into a building and hides there, not understanding what is happening. He cannot defend himself, for in this new world there is no presence of magical elements, and he cannot sense any spirits. For now, his only option is to run away from Misaki, hoping to keep her at bay, as if he is injured, he will not heal. This means he could actually die, as the boy's body is too fragile and too young to perform the stunts he did in his old world. However, soon Misaki appears through the window and surprises him with an attack. With his throwing skills, he manages to escape the knife attacks unharmed, leaving Misaki impressed. No one has ever lasted this long, which makes her even more excited and anxious. Polka grabs a steel pipe from the ground and goes for the attack, but she blocks the blow with her leg while throwing her knives towards her. A brief struggle ensues, and although she manages to dodge some of the attacks, he ends up being stabbed in the leg. As he thinks of the happy children he saw outside, what torments him? That life he always dreamed of was almost within his reach, but now he finds himself on the brink of another Grim Reaper. Not knowing what awaits you, removing the knife from his leg, he hurls it back at Misaki and runs away again. Determined not to die before reaching the end, he runs towards a room, with Misaki following, amazed at his ability to dodge her attacks. The room looks empty except for the presence of some drums, a grappling hook, a bathtub and some cans of acid. Out loud, he wonders what this place is. Misaki enters the room and reveals that it is used as an execution chamber, as she hurls her knives towards him, sending him crashing to the floor. It's a place where gangsters and other criminals kill people with art, she explains. She believes there are ghosts inside, which is curiously confirmed by Polka's sinister gaze. Many of the ghosts are sunk in the tub, some cut in half and others hanging by their necks. He observes all this and expresses his observation aloud. Evidently, the sinister look is related to the soul of the possessors, and not their flesh and brains. That's why he has that look, even though he's in a different world and in a different body. He realizes that terrible humans and their will to kill are something inevitable, something that cannot be escaped. Those who kill probably have no respect for people's lives. Just like him in the past, they see people as toys. Misaki doesn't care about that. It is not concerned with defending the value of human life. He admits to thinking that lives should be treated better, but Misaki doesn't care. She believes she should do a better job of making sure her targets die and don't come back to life later. As she lashes out at him, he warns her not to be so careless with this precious life he's supposed to be playing with. He only cares about being the one to reap. Suddenly, his magical powers return and surround him. He summons a huge skeleton hand to stab Misaki in the stomach and pin her against the wall. In his old world, Shagro watches the scene and blames himself for not being able to completely kill the corpse god. However, he takes comfort in realizing that the corpse god's energy is no longer in the air. He has been completely wiped out. But Shagro remembers the final moment, when his sword was about to pierce him. Corpse's body's teleportation magic was activated. He doesn't believe that the corpse god just got up and left suddenly. He doesn't believe that the corpse god is gone. It seems like a trick, but he still has hopes that he saved the world. Shagro is right. The corpse god is alive and well, fighting Misaki. He has her in his huge skeleton hand and is absorbing the magical power of killing her. Polka thanks Misaki for taking him to this place, where he can finally find peace and live as freely as she wanted. The place is full of spirit and magic, allowing you to do whatever you want. He unleashes all of her magic to go toe-to-toe and play the Grim Reaper's games. Thank you so much for making it this far. Don't forget to subscribe to receive more content like this daily, and see you next time.